Hello. We are going to a Shadowbringer extreme trial. Well, it's the Minstrel's Ballad, but it's still extreme. This one's going to be a synced run with no echo, so it's not going to be as difficult as minimum eye level, but we'll still see the majority of mechanics. Someone's watching the cutscenes, so I'll skip ahead a little. Starting off, we are picking out our clock spots. I'm emoting. But yeah, so we got clock spots. And then I think we do need light parties. But in the chat, we were talking about that. Okay, so let's just get started. You'll notice on the ground there are these circles going out. Okay, these circles. We'll utilize those for certain mechanics later. And again, with the tank in the front, you want to watch out for any cleaves, so don't stand up there with the tank. Ancient double. This is like some buff thing. Okay, so look right here, there's like nothing right here, right? And then after a moment, after the cast Ancient Double, there's like this animation. And now the boss has this thing called Ancient Double. So from what I understand, it just means that the majority of mechanics we see will be doubled up, or all of them. I don't know. It doesn't really affect too much, but it's just like, you know, it's there to let you know. But in terms of like gameplay, the way I see playing mechanics, it's kind of just okay. If the boss is never going to remove this thing, then everything that happens in the actual process of playing the game is just what it is. Because like sometimes a boss might get a buff and that will change up the mechanics, and then they might lose the buff, but I think this thing just stays here the entire time, so it doesn't really matter. But that's just me. I think differently. Okay, doesn't matter. Shadow spread. This we want to use our clock positions for, because we're going to bait a hit, and then because the boss is going to do whatever double thing, we're going to get hit with it once, and then we need to move into a safe spot. So bait whatever, and we're all spread out so nobody takes extra damage, and then you move into a safe spot. You know what I'm saying? Go. Okay. Next up, we've got these spiky thingies. One side is going to spike this side, the other side is going to do that side like that, or it can be the other direction. So this back corner could be a thing, and then the spiky stuff over here could be over here. So it really depends on which side the spiky stuff has, but it's going to do this twice because of this double thingy. Okay, so maybe this thing does matter. Anyway, moving on. I run to this other side. You can walk through this purple thing. It's okay. So I wait for it to go off, and then I move to the other side, because then it's gonna go out again. Okay, some people will stand like on the line right here, and they'll move this way or that way. You can do that if you're good at determining where the middle line is, but I usually use the purple stuff. So I definitely know where the line is. Like, it's easier for me to understand. But do that however you want. I saw someone like hanging out just like here and going like this, like this, like this, yeah. So they clearly had done the fight a fair amount of times. Okay, next move. Ravenous Assault is going to be Tank Buster. This is an AoE one, so you definitely don't want to be near the tank for that. And it looks like they get a magic vulnerability thingy, so they did a tank swap. Okay. Arcane Utterance. We get these blue things, but you can also get a different version, and so you'll have to adjust to whatever it is. But this blue version, there are these like things that's shining. See, it's like shining out. They're like little mirrors, and they are gonna do line AoEs in front of them. And so you need to find the safe spot. Because like here, this one's gonna go this way, like that. And so the trick is there's a mirror in the middle. So you gotta adjust your camera a little. And figure out where the middle one is. Okay, so it's right here. And you wanna find the direction that that one is facing. So it might be a little hard to see like this, but this mirror is the back side, the darker side is facing me now. And this one, the back side is facing me now. See, this is dark, and then in front of it there's like light and stuff. And so whatever the middle one is the one you want to stand far behind. So let's see if I can get a better angle of this. Here, you can kind of see it here. This is the mirror. You can kind of see this little thing. That's the thing that would be shining out. With the boss being here and me shooting my skills at it, it's hard to see like in this angle. In the moment it's a little bit easier for me to see, but trying to capture a good spot to explain it is a little hard. But here there's this, and then you see this crystal part, right? The crystal part is in the front, and so that means this line AoE is going to go this way, and then this middle one is also going to go this way, and this one's going to go this way, this one's going to go this way, and this one's going to go like this, and this one's like this. And so that means we have a safe spot in the back behind this one, because there's nothing over here that is going to shoot towards us, right? So there's a gap over here, and you might think, oh, I'll go into the gap and that'll be the safe spot, but actually this one is like facing you and it's going to shoot a beam at you. So is this one facing you, it's going to shoot a beam at you. And so you want to go behind the two line AoEs that are going to shoot the beam. The other version of this arcane utterance thing, yeah, arcane utterance, there's a different version, and it's like red orbs and stuff, and you do want to find the gap, but in this one you want to go to the opposite side of the gap. Opposite side of the gap, but more a safer thing to look for besides finding the gap and going the opposite side, because if you try to find the opposite side you might think it's this one or that one, is to find the middle one and then figure out where the back is and then go to the other side of that instead. However it is, you gotta figure it out, or like that will help you remember, like just go with that. For me, making sure I see the backside of two of them means I'm in the safe spot. Okay, see how they're all doing line AoEs here? So this one's like this, and this one's going like this, and this one is coming from over here. And so we've got this safe spot here. Okay, this one's coming from the other side, like that. All right. So that's that variation. Broken Faith. We've got these orange puddle things. And so this is where we're going to utilize the circles on the ground. Like this. As you can see, there is this middle one right here. It's going to explode all here. Okay. And then this one is this circle. And this one is this circle. So these are going to explode. But then you also have this one here, and it's this circle. And so there's a lot of different circles going on. Alright, and then we have this orange one in the middle here, and it's this circle. And so getting used to the patterns on the ground will help you dodge this next mechanic. What happens is stuff is gonna start falling from the sky. This thing. And once it reaches the ground on its like orange thingy, it's gonna explode that entire circle. And then you see another one falling over here. They're gonna fall in whatever order. Okay, so this one went, and then now this one, and then this one, and then this one. And so I'll let it play out, and then I'll describe how I handled this. Okay, it's going, there's a lot that's going on here. Okay, you want to dodge all these. If you get hit, you take damage and you get a walnut. Okay, so that's what it looks like. So what I do is I will go to the first one. Like I'll make my way towards the first one. It'll explode. I'll wait behind the line for it to explode, and then I will go stand in there. I'll stand like around the middle section of the first one that exploded, and then I can kind of just ignore all the ones over here. I just have to pay attention to if this one's gonna come down or if this one's gonna come down. And then also I'm making sure the middle one, keeping track of the middle one. Okay. Oh, oops. So I'm here waiting. See, this is the middle one. The middle one's about to explode. And so I wait for the middle one to explode. And then I'm going to walk into the middle circle. Because the timing works out that this one is about to drop where I was standing. And so I wait at the first one, or I just pick one and I wait, and then I go into the middle. And then this one's on the side, so this one's going to blow up. So by waiting in the middle, I'll be safe for a moment. And while I'm waiting in the middle though, you know, I'm looking at these lines here. This one is gonna explode out this way. This one, the line is like this. And so when I'm in the middle, I'm making sure I'm not getting hit with any of these other circles. Like this. Okay. I wait for them to explode, and then I'll go back into that spot to then get out of the way of the middle one that's gonna fall down. Once the middle one falls down, then I walk in there again, because these are slowly cascading down the sides. So I can see the one that's about to fall down on me. I'm gonna go into the middle. It takes a few tries, or I don't know, as many tries as you need to get used to the timing of that. But what works best for me is to wait for one to explode, go stand there for a bit, wait for the middle one to explode, go hide in the middle for as long as I can, and go pick another one and go hide in that safe spot. And then the middle one explodes, and then I go back to the middle. For some other people, they're cool with just running around underneath all of them, like being like, okay, I'll go here, okay, I'll go just, you know, this one's coming down, but I'm gonna wait here, and then I'll go here, okay, then I'll go here, okay. Whatever works for you is fine. I prefer not to like run around the stage as much, because then I can lose track of like what's falling. So that's why I try to focus outside once, stay there, middle, stay there, outside again, and then middle. That's a little bit easier for me to remember. But after that, this is the other version of the arcane utterance thing. Arcane utterance. So instead of the blue, like square version, we've got these red orbs, and this one you do want to find the spot that doesn't have an orb. because these red orbs are going to explode in a circle AoE. And so there we go. So it's kind of, it's pretty big. Okay, so you want to go find the spot that doesn't have a circle and like back it up. Like back it up pretty far because they're gonna explode pretty wide. But you know, essentially I think it looks like they're planting themselves right in the middle of it. So I think as long as you are like within this little triangle, you should be okay. Let's see. Yeah. It's along those circles, so you have this triangular shape to hide in. Okay, so that's phase 1. Again, we did this synced, and so if you're doing it minimum eye level, I think it would repeat a few other mechanics maybe, and then if you don't beat the DPS check, then there's probably, I think there's an enrage there. I ran this with other groups like 2 or 3 times, like full instances, and so I saw all sorts of things. But I don't think the first phase was too bad in terms of the DPS check. Like after some of these variations, I think we did have to sit here for a little bit more to like do a bit more damage, but I don't think there was anything significantly different in terms of like a DPS check. But I could be wrong. This next phase, we got some rolls stuff that's gonna happen. So tanks have specific jobs to do, and DPS also have specific jobs to do. There are these 4 ads, ancients, that will tether to each DPS. Okay, and then we also got this shade in the middle here, and so it's like a long cast, so we want to destroy the middle one first. Actually, you can't even target these ancients. You can only target Nabriales, is how you pronounce that. So everyone focus on attacking this one, but then also focus on the other mechanics. So here we've got a tower here and a tower over here. There are going to be comets falling down. This is reminiscent of the Chrysalis fight or so. So the tanks need to run around to go soak these towers. Okay, the towers are going to show up in a certain order, so the tanks need to run and catch all of these towers, all these comets basically. And then DPS will be tethered to one of these ancients. Okay, so this is the comet. Okay, so this is gonna go down, and then see this next tower shows up. So one tank is assigned going to the north one tank is assigned the south one, and then they rotate to grab the next one. With the DPS tethers, it's gonna do a line or cone AoE. I don't remember exactly, but it's gonna do a long AoE towards you when it is done casting this Dark 2. And you want to point that tether in like a specific direction that's away from where the tanks are. And so, for example, the 2 of us in the back here are pointing ours back south. Okay, and there we go. So we get hit with that. I ended up getting hit like, looks like 3 times, because I think this person's tether was this way. I got hit with mine, and then I think somebody over here was also pointing it kind of this way. And so you take some damage and you get a magic vulnerability up if you get hit with that. Not so bad, but the main thing here is not to point the tether where the tanks are, because the tanks are taking the hits from these comets, right? And these comets do, you know, a decent amount of damage, like tank tank worthy damage. And if they get hit with this magic vulnerability up, like if they get hit with the damage, yeah, that's not great. Oh man, crashed. Hang on, I'll bring it back. What was it? I think it was on the 13th. No. It's the 14th. Hang on. Oops. No, not the 14th. 4. Just 4. What is this? Is it this one? The situation with my computer is that this program that I'm using, oh man, it was the 19th. The program that I'm using was supposed to be updated to remove this drawing tool like a month or two ago. A few months ago, actually. And I was throwing a fit because I was like, I don't do well with change. I don't like this. and so is okay, wait, let me find it. Is it this? Yeah, so the program was supposed to update to remove the functionality of drawing on the videos, and that's like the main thing that I do, you know, that's different than other people, most people who make guide videos. And so I was like, dude, no, don't remove it. And so I had to cancel the update, and it was a whole situation, and maybe that's why it's been crashing so much lately. Okay, I think I got it. I think we're good. I think we're good. We're back. Here we go. I just want to at least finish all the extreme fights. And then the software can like disintegrate. It's fine. Then I'll work on finding new software for like the Savage and Ultimates. Okay, anyway, so we're all attacking this one, right? Tanks are gonna grab the towers north and south. You have to decide who's picking which. DPS will point the tethers. Ideally, the thing is, if you point the tethers north and south, like we point ours south, right? By the time our tethers explode, the tank will already be out of the way. And so that's what is preferred, usually. And then the ones up here will point theirs north. But then see, this tether is pointing south, and so I think that's why I got hit with that one too. But anyway, point is, we take damage from this, yes, but if the tanks also get hit with this, they'll likely die because of the damage, but also because of the magic vulnerability up. And then, like, you know, they're taking the damage from the comments, and the comments are likely magic damage, and so they'll die from soaking those things. Okay, VL, is that what happened to them? Let's find out. Yeah. So see, they got hit with magic damage, and I think it's because this tether was going backwards over here. Like that. Or so, something like that. I don't know. Point is, they shouldn't have gotten hit with this magic vulnerability up, but they did. And then as soon as the comet goes down, they're gonna die. See, they're still alive right now, but legit, once the comet hits, they're gonna die. The other tank doesn't die though, because they don't have the magic vulnerability down. Sorry, magic vulnerability up. You're more vulnerable. Okay, so this can be a bit detrimental, because then if nobody's soaking that comet, then we could possibly die. But fortunately, we had people run into that area to soak the comet because they saw that the tank died, so they reacted well to that. Okay. Oh, that was the whole thing. We'll see another time, and I'll go through it again. Right after that, we've got 2 AoEs and 2 stack markers. Typically, the tanks will get the AoEs, but because one tank was dead, I got the AoE. And then the stack markers go to the healers, and so you would go stack up with your healer. Hopefully I don't die. Okay, I didn't die. It's okay. Alright. And then we had Quake 3, which is like a big attack. Let's see. Quake 3 deals damage based off of how much health it had remaining. Okay, so we took the health down pretty well, and so this cast didn't really do any severe damage to us at all. Okay. This next part though, oh wait, no, this next part's not too bad. Alright, so we got two ads here. One's doing Fire Sphere and one's doing Blizzard Sphere. We're all gonna get debuffs that will indicate whether we can attack one or the other. Okay, and so there'll be like a raid wight here, we'll take some damage. And then, so I got the red one, Burning Brand, branded with a mark of flame and unable to deal damage to La Habrea's shade. Fire damage taken is increased. And so that means I can't attack La Habrea. And I also, if I get hit with fire damage, it will hurt a lot more. And therefore, I need to go attack the ice one, which is, I don't know how to pronounce this person's name. This person? Okay, the ice one. So I go attack the ice one. And if you have a hard time telling, there's like this red fire one circling around La Habrea. So that's fire, and then this one is the ice one. You want to make sure that these two ads are away from each other, or else they'll tether and then get a vulnerability down, and so they will be more difficult to damage. And so the tanks need to figure out whatever their buff is, their debuff is, and go pick up the ads accordingly. As in, like, okay, if you have the fire one, then you go pick up the ice ad, and if you have the ice debuff, you go pick up the other end. You know what I'm saying? See, I had the fire one, I tried attacking La Habrea, and it became invulnerable. So I had to go attack the other one. Okay, now we've got some ancients out here, and they are tethering to us some lines here. So these lines typically will be handled by the supports, as in the tanks and healers from what I have seen, so that the DPS can handle just focusing on damaging the ads, because this is our DPS check here. We don't destroy these ads fast enough, then the raid will wipe. So these things will switch your colored stuff, I believe. Hang on, let's see. No. A switch happens. At some point, we'll switch debuffs. So let me read this real quick. For ads, all four ancients will tether themselves to random players. Two of the tethers will be ice, two will be fire. After delay, ancients will bombard the tether victim with AoE damage of the tethered element. Seeing as players take increased damage from mechanics of the same element to their brand, the raid needs to swap or intercept tethers so that they do not have the tether of the same element. Oh, okay. As failure to do so will likely be fatal. Furthermore, any designated to their taking tether should be not standing close to other players, as AoE damage from ancient shades may overlap. For best results, each tank and healer should intercept tethers opposite to their respective elemental brand so that the damage dealers can maintain uptime on Igurum and La Habrea away from designated tether holders. Yeah, okay. So that's what I was understanding too. So here, because I have the fire one, fire damage will be increased, and so if I get hit with this thingy, I'll get hit with a ton of extra damage, and so I don't want to deal with that. And so the tanks and healers will go pick up these tethers from the DPS, so the DPS doesn't have to take care of this mechanic. You gotta pick up the opposite ones though, so that you don't take as much damage. And so this tank, for example, has a fire brand, the burning brand, And so they want to take the ice one, take an ice tether, so they don't get hit with so much damage. And then the other tank has the blue one, and so they want to take a fire one. And then same things with the healer. This healer has a fire one, so they want to take an ice one. And this other healer has an ice one, therefore they want to take a fire tether. Okay? And so tanks and healers will pick up these tethers while the DPS can just take care of their stuff. Also, you can see there that there was one person that had like 2 tethers on them. This person, like, that's gonna do a lot of damage to them, and so you gotta split up those tethers. I was hanging out, I was like, who's taking my tether? Okay, so then this person can't take my tether. So DL, okay, so they had an ice one, and then they took the fire tether, and so that means they're not gonna take as much damage. And then okay, looks like this tank didn't end up taking anything. That's fine. But then we have some people who've died here. The things explode. Oh, okay, so see how this person, the healer who took my tether, their explosion is like smaller. I think these ones are K. Did they have an ice one? Or is it, did I just... Okay. Theirs exploded, but they didn't die. But ML did. So ML is right here. So let's see what they had. What was their situation? ML is down here. They have the ice tether on them. And they have ice. The ice brand. Okay. So yeah. So ML is over here. They have the ice thing still on them, and they have the ice brand, so they weren't able to get someone to take it off of them. And then there's somebody else back here with the fire tether. Okay, and JP is one of the other healers, and so... And then they don't have a tether. Okay, maybe the fire one just does a smaller AoE and the ice one does a bigger AoE. That's kind of what it looks like. And then I'm not sure who had the fire one in the back, but it seems like they were okay. Let's see. With process of elimination, I can probably figure it out. Okay. VL is up here, DL is up here, JP is here, I am here, ML is like down here with the ice tether, RK is over there. Okay, so either AA or HM is over there with the other ad, and HM has the ice one and AA has the ice one. Okay, so then they, either one of them, if they were attached to the fire tether over in that corner where I can't see, it's probably these 2 people here. They're probably fine. They didn't die, so they're probably fine however they handled the tether thing over there. But it's this person, the red mage, who had the ice tether and the ice debuff, that they ended up dying. Okay, but now La Habrea and the other person, Ad, is doing the fire sphere, blizzard sphere, like they did at the beginning of this phase. And so that means we're going to switch the debuffs. Okay, so I have a fire now, and then once this thing hits, and we get hit with the annihilation thingy, it switches. So now I have the ice one when I had fire before. And so that means we need to switch to attack the other Ad. See, so now my attacks are invulnerable to this ad, so I gotta switch to the other one. And so tanks need to do a tank swap too. And so ideally this will be a clean tank swap, like, you know, we'll figure it out. So one tank can stay here and the other stays here, and then they provoke each other's ad, and then the ads themselves will like crisscross and like go over there. and they will momentarily like tether in the middle, but then they'll separate, right? So that's one way to do the tank swap. Another way is, you know, what it seems like they're doing, like they're kind of running towards each other here, but then the tanks continue to try to separate them, and that's also fine. Whichever way. But make sure that you are attacking the one that is the opposite of yours. So again, La Hebrea has these like fire things going around him, and I have the ice brand, and so therefore I can attack. Sorry, it's called freezing brand, but it's the ice one, you know what I'm saying? Okay, also, you know, the ads do attacks and stuff, so that's why tanks are tanking them and mitigating and things like that. Okay, after that, this is probably one of the more difficult parts of this fight. If you're doing this minimum eye level, it's pretty important to like understand the mechanic and like do it correctly, because a lot of people can die here. Universal manipulation, it's gonna give out like a ton of debuffs, and you have to handle them in a particular way. So we got tanks and healers with these big circle these donut things. Okay, so they control the donuts. Ideally, everyone will stay closer together in the center so that there's like a bigger gap in the center. However, there's a finesse to it, because DPS have some debuffs. Beyond Death. Okay, I got Beyond Death, and I got a few other things. Off Balance, Forked Lightning, Beyond Death. So, to start off, Forked Lightning is going to explode, and you basically need to spread away from people for that. Okay, this is a common... Well, not common, but this debuff is seen in a few other fights, if you've done other like savage fights or extreme fights. When you see Forked Lightning, that is a spread thing for that particular person. So that's that. So at some point I know I'm gonna need to get away. And then this Beyond Death one means that I need to die at some point, or else this will kill me. I know that sounds weird, but I need to trigger, in order to be safe, I need to take fatal damage that only beyond death's boundaries can life be achieved. And so I will stay alive if I die. However you want to understand that, cool. Basically, you need your HP to go down. You need to die to something in order to live. Okay. And then Off Balance causes affected players to be knocked backwards a set distance only once they take damage. And so if I take damage, I'm going to be knocked backwards. Okay. So that's the DPS ones. And then the tanks and healers have Doom. Okay, so after a while you can die if you're not healed to full health. And then the circle, the circle thingy, the donut one. Okay, that just means they got the donut thing. And then there's gonna be one more, and it'll show up after a moment. Hang on. This look away mechanic. It's Cursed Shriek. I think that's what it's called. It's a gaze mechanic, and so if anybody's looking at them, and if anybody's looking at the person with the gaze thingy, they will be petrified. Okay, so we got a few layers of things happening. For tanks and healers, you need your health full up, or else you'll get Doom. See, our health is all the way up now, and so the tanks and healers don't have Doom anymore. Tanks and healers need to stand closer to the center, so we have space for these donut thingies. And then for the DPS, so it's kind of like the tanks and healers need to handle the first part of the mechanic, and then DPS are handling the second part, if you want to think of it like that. However, positioning is kind of important here, because with the Beyond Death, I want to die. I need to be hit with something. And these AoEs here sure will hit me, you know what I'm saying? If I stand in one of them and it does damage, I'm gonna get one, I will take damage, and so that probably means I'll get knocked backwards because I took damage. That's what the knockback one said. Causes affected players to be knocked backwards a set distance once they take damage, okay? So taking damage will knock me backwards, but also if it's detrimental damage, then it could satisfy this Beyond Death thingy, where I need to die in order to live. And then, ideally, I get knocked back because I take damage, but I get knocked back and I'm by myself, and then this fork lightning goes off, and it will just be okay. Okay, hopefully that kind of makes sense. I'll play it out, and we'll just see it in action. So there's my knockback, and then that was the fork lightning. So let me show it one more time. Here. Okay. You hear that little noise there? The donut AoEs just went off. I got hit with one of the donuts. I only stood in one of the donuts. I very specifically stood in just one. I take a hit and it's like a ton of damage, and my debuff for the Beyond Death goes away. See, I'll not Beyond Dead anymore. And then I was knocked backwards because I took damage, and so this thing happened. The knockback thingy happened. And then after a moment, you take a look. I turn around because I don't want to look at the gaze mechanic. Okay. The gaze goes out, and so I didn't look at that, so I'm okay. But then after a moment, like see, the death shriek was the gaze mechanic. I was able to dodge all of them because I looked away. I looked outside the stage. And then I lost my off balance because that timed out, but the forked lightning is about to happen. Like, I just clicked it, there we go. So this is the forked lightning, and this is why you don't want to be near other people. See, there's one over there, there's one over here. And so we pick specific places to get knocked backwards into, so that the DPS, once everything is resolved, the final one, the forked lightning here, explodes away from everybody else. So positioning for this is pretty crucial. This group knew what they were doing, but this is where a lot of people will start wiping. Let me show an example over here of what it can look like when done with finesse. Okay, because the thing crashed, it closed, so I have to go find it again. I think this one, maybe. Spoilers. Okay, here we go. Let's see this one. Okay, universal manipulation. So tanks and healers are gonna get their circle AoEs and doom. So here, see this tank right here is in control of this circle, and this healer here is in control of this circle, and this healer here is in control of this circle, and then the tank over there is in control of this circle. I know this looks crazy, right? But that's kind of just, it can be a whole mess. And we had one tank kind of running around a lot. The little screech noise is the eyeball mechanic. It's called Curse Streak. Okay, so I get knocked backwards. I got hit with the thing, so I got enough damage, and then I removed my Beyond Death. I'm gonna turn around so I don't look at this shriek mechanic. And then my Forked Lightning blew up. Okay, so ideally tanks and healers will stay in these little waymarker areas. Let's see. Let's take a look at another example. Oh yeah, here we go. Wait. Oh, the audio's cutting out. It might crash. Okay. See the way that people are standing? There's like, I think, like in this fashion, technically you don't want the healers to be standing on this donut thing at all. And so that means that one healer, or whose is this? Okay, so this healer could probably move forward a bit. If they moved forward, if this healer moved forward, then it would go behind this healer a little bit, and they also wouldn't be standing in one of them. And so there's a good chance this healer is probably gonna die. But let's see, let's find out. But also during this part, we need everyone at full health so that the tanks and healers don't die to doom. Okay. And here, ideally, see how I'm standing on just like one of them? Like, I don't want to get hit with multiple. Okay. So the two healers died because they were standing on the donut things. I didn't necessarily die. See, I have 1 health because I had the Beyond Death. But because these healers didn't have Beyond Death, they shouldn't have been standing on those donut things. But again, it's a lot to like finesse and adjust. Okay. Then I look away. The thing explodes. Man, this audio. Let's see if there's another video. You can close. Okay, that was that one. Maybe this one. Oh no, another one. Ah, of course it crashed. Okay, hang on. Let me find it so it's applicable. Okay, that's not looking good. Let's see. Maybe this one. Dude, we're at the final stage of all the videos. It's okay. Everything will be okay. I'm determined. I will find the video again, and then we'll make it through. We'll finish the video, and then at some point we'll finish all the videos. This is nothing to stress over. I am making everybody aware of the technical difficulties. Is this the video? God, Control-Alt-Delete. Okay, it's not opening. It's like one thing to have to go find it, and then it's another to like, you know, make sure it actually opens. What? Okay, I closed all of it. Okay, how about now? Bro, why? So it's 2024 now. Happy New Year. My roommate and I celebrated low-key. That was nice. Oh man, I just closed all the things. Okay, that was on accident. Okay, this. Okay. Okay, there's that one. I think it's that one. And then this. I would edit this, but I just don't care anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, if people watch my videos this far, you already know what it's like, you know what I'm saying? You're just chilling, right? Like, the vibe that I want to make is just, like, hanging out, and your friend is teaching you how to, like, go raiding. And so, you know, situations happen where, you know, your little sibling accidentally or intentionally unplugs the internet, and then everything goes down and everyone's upset and it's a hot mess. So what are you gonna do? You go figure it out. Oh my goodness. The thing is, these I have to finagle with all these numbers to sort out which video is the correct one. You know how I am with numbers if you've watched my other videos. Goodness. Is it this? Like this? Okay, I'm gonna put this one up. And then we'll see what the situation is with this one. Did I just show this? Was this the one I just showed? Okay, this person was like moving around a lot. But in any case, like, I'm still standing in at least one, and so I'm fine. Okay. This person, AU, did not end up standing in one, which is why they died. They took too much damage. And they had the death thingy, but they didn't stand. They didn't end up in orange thing because one in a red thing because one person was moving too much. So see, they're trying to not stand in the thing, whereas I'm intentionally standing in one. This person is standing in one, but with the person moving around a lot. Let's see. Let's focus on one at a time. So this person, AU, the red mage, they are not standing in any of the donut things. I get knocked back because I got hit with the donut thing. Looks like AF also got hit with one of the donut things because their health is going to 1. AU still has full health with the shield. They didn't take damage and they didn't get knocked back because they didn't take any damage, right? YA, where are they? I think they're probably up there. They also didn't take damage. Like me and this other person, we're supposed to take damage so that we can survive. And so both AU and YA, I think they're up there. They died because they didn't take any damage and they weren't, and you can confirm that they didn't take damage because they didn't get knocked backwards into their spots. And then but the healers and tanks ended up okay because they didn't stand in any of the donut things. However, one of them got petrified because they didn't look away from each other, and so they saw whatever eyeball was above somebody else. And then yeah, me and this person on this side are still out here. I looked away. I think they looked away also because they're not petrified. I dodged the shrieks because I looked away, and then our forked lightning goes off. Okay, so there again is a whole sequence of this situation. Oh, it looks like this person didn't look away either. And you can see here, yeah, they're looking away. It's a little lala, I can't tell if they're looking away, but they're casting still, and so they're probably not petrified. Okay. Then we got this big blight thingy. There's raid-wide damage, and then it'll also give us a debuff, and I think that's a dot. So let's go back to this one. So in this one, there's a whole situation. We didn't really discuss the mechanics, and we didn't discuss who was going where. I was just see how like I moved forward a little because I only wanted to get hit with one. I don't remember exactly why you only want to get hit with one, but at some point somebody I think told me I should only get hit with one. So let's go read the wiki. One method of dealing with onslaught debuffs is to have healers immediately start curing. Healers immediately start healing to cure all doom debuffs. Okay. During that, each tank and healer should stand close to the center of the arena at cardinal positions around the boss, north, south, east, and west of the hitbox. Okay, which ensures that their eventual donut AoEs are manageable positions. Okay. Safe spots right in the center so that no other tank or healer is clipped. Yeah. So I saw this in a different piece of footage that I had when I was skimming over them before I started recording this. Because this has already crashed like twice, I'm not going to go dig around to go find that video because I don't want this video to be super hella long. But what I saw is that if tanks and healers are standing right here and here, like at these points where these like circle things intersect each other, that seems to be a good spot. And then the DPS stands like around here, just a little bit like that distance. I think that was enough for the tanks and healers to make space for themselves to not stand in the actual AoEs, and then the DPS to stand in just one. I'm feeling my ADHD impulsion it's telling me to go find the video so I can show the thing. But no, let's just finish reading this paragraph. Meanwhile, each damage dealer should pair up with a tank or healer standing behind them with their back to the outside so that they will receive fatal damage from Ancient Circle, removing their Beyond Death debuff. Okay, so the Ancient Circle is the donut AoE. By standing in one of them, I'll get hit with the donut AoE. Okay, and then remove my Beyond Death debuff. Okay, as a result of taking damage dealers will also be knocked back to the arena via off balance, assuming they have their back turned to the outer edge. Yeah, so that's what I was doing here. If I was like looking outside and my back was towards the boss, if I took damage, I'd probably go flying that way. So that's why when I'm standing here, I'm still attacking the boss, and then when I get hit with damage, I go fly like backwards to the side of the stage that I want to. Once achieved, all damage dealers will then need to turn away from tanks and healers in the center to avoid petrifying gaze of Cursed Shriek. Okay, yeah, I did that. Just remember that off balance will knock you backwards in the opposite direction you're facing, so be sure you're facing the right direction for the knockback before turning away from the gaze afterwards. After the knockback, damage dealers should remain in position until their forked lightning detonates. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so that's what I did. I was facing the boss. I got knocked backwards because I got hit with one. And then I turned away so I don't see the shriek. And then I stay here for the forked lightning to go off, and then I go back. Okay, raid wide, and then we got the blight thingy. Damn, I hope that makes sense. Everything I just explained. Okay, Height of Chaos. What's that? Oh, is that a tank buster? Is that a tank buster? Oh yeah, that was a tank buster. Okay. Megiddo Flame. We got 2 stacks on each healer. So go to your light party. Okay, so we get these magic vulnerability thingies, and that's why you don't want to, like, you know, stack them and stuff. Shadow Flare. What's this? Okay, so we skipped that, but let's see. Shadow Flare hits the entire raid with a burst of shadowy energy. Healers will need to ensure that everyone has been sufficiently topped up after the previous flame stacks to avoid untimely death. Okay, so it seems like we skipped that. Yeah. Again, this isn't minimum eye level, and so we're seeing most of the mechanics, but not all of them. But it looks like it's a big, like, raid-wide thing that healers will need to top us up for. And then there's another one, Ancient Eruption. 2 players will drop AoE circles beneath their feet, following them for a total of 3 detonations each. If target, you run near the outer edge, prefer avoiding the bulk of the raid. Okay, so that's like baiting AoEs. Unless that's the next phase. I don't know. I might be misreading. Let's just continue. Let's see what else we have. Oh, dude, look! They shake the bottle with just one hand. And, like, as a Lalafell, I almost topple over because the bottle's like half the size of me. Okay, so this is a new phase. Again, the Majestic. Okay, so we got the towers again. So the tanks need to go take care of those towers. We got somebody with an AoE, so they bring that to the side. Okay, Captivity. Okay, see, the tanks need to rotate to go grab the next towers and so on. Here we got this ethereal gal thingy, and so we need to target this because there is somebody trapped inside of it, this person. And then still we got tanks dealing with the towers outside. Again, the Martyr. What's this? Oh, there's a lot. Okay, so it looks like we've got stack markers and then also AoEs to spread. I kind of remembered, because I had progged this like 3 times already, Whale of the Lost. So this is gonna do a knockback, and so this person like ran outside to spread already, but most of us are staying here to ride the knockback. There's a knockback in the center. And so I knock back over here. Ideally someone will go there, and someone over there, and someone over there. And then the healers will get knocked back to the sides, ideally. And they had like a stack thingy. And so ideally the tanks will go ride the knockback with the healers so that they can take the stacks together with them, while the DPS rides the knockback to their clock spots, their corners. Okay, so we spread it out like that. Again, the Abyssal Celebrant. Okay, we'll see this again. This is not the clear. So when we see those other mechanics again, I'll repeat it again, like I always do. We have long cone AoEs, okay? We got some stack markers on the healers, and we got 2 people with large AoEs. The two people who are furthest away from the boss are going to be the ones picked for this AoE. And since I'm here, I will show this. Essentially, I will bait the AoE as far as I can, and then I'll move out of it to bait it one more time, and then I'll run out and bait it one more time, inching my way closer to the front. People without the AoE responsibility will go to the front and go stack with the healers. Okay, so there we go. The thing goes off. I bait it, staying in my little cone lane and getting out of the AoE that I'm dropping. And then I'll be okay. And then other people, see, they go up to go take the soak with each other. Dark Seal. Okay, we've got these little balls here, these orbs. It's similar to the Sephiroth fight, where the orb like expands and stuff. And so, since we're all traveling to the front, most people will just stay in the front, because these orbs are gonna expand. So I'm gonna hang out in the front, and see it's expanding. I'm gonna go in the middle in this case, because these arms are hovering over here, so it's gonna do a big side attack like this. Okay, like that. Okay, so I stand in the middle. We stand in the middle to dodge the big arms doing stuff on the sides. But then you gotta be mindful of the fact that these red orb things are expanding. So kind of just keep inching forward. But then there's like this big Hadouken happening in the middle, and so then you gotta move off to the side. And so I moved off to the side, but I'm like, okay, I gotta be careful about how big this grows, but I also don't want to get clipped with the middle now. So there we go. I ended up getting hit with this. Everyone else ran that way. It's probably better. Oh, maybe there wasn't an orb over there. Oh, yeah. You can see the orb situation. There's one here, and there's one like down over here. It's a bit further back. Oh yeah, you just... Okay, here, let me try to get a good frame of it. See how this one is like further back over here? Whereas this one is more forward? Something like that. And so that means this one's going to cover this whole side. And so this is the side you want to dodge on. I did not catch that. I just went to either side. I thought it'd be fine, but it looks like if you stand on the side that I was on, you're going to get hit with one of these things. I didn't die, but you know, I took a lot of damage. But yeah, over here it seemed like they did a lot better. Wait, how did they get the bleeds? How'd the tanks get bleeds here? Okay. Looks like when you get hit with that, you get magic vulnerability. Oops, okay. HM. Okay, well, they're kind of stepping in this stuff, so that's probably how they got a bleed. Okay. VL is also kind of stepping in this stuff, so that's how they go. Okay, so if you step in this, you get a bleed. Alright. Dark Seal. Okay, the little red orb. Okay, and then this with the arms on the sides, so that means you go to the middle first, and then the middle one is gonna have a bunch of energy, and so you want to move to the side. And pick the side that has the orb that's not growing closer to the front. Okay, now we get fettered. It's gonna be one of those clicking things. Oh, there's only 7 of us. Wow. 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 Look at that mask collection. Okay. So, final phase. Dark current. Oh, the person is just disconnected. We've got these circle AoEs on the side, and they have a little arrow, so that means they're gonna slowly like go across the way. There's someone here too. So you have to figure out where the gap is so you don't stand in line with these circle AoEs. There's a tiny trick that somebody somewhere found that a lot of people know about. There's like a small spot somewhere around here where you can stand and you won't get hit with any of it. It's kind of hard to like figure out on the fly, but I'm sure other people on the internet have explained where it is exactly. But here, once the thingy, the arrow goes away, it'll just start exploding. It'll look like this darker red one. So you want to stand in line with it. Okay, so here, looks like it's probably like right here or something. A little spot right here. But let's see. This person, the healer, was trying to find it, and I think it was a struggle, and so I was like, okay, I don't think I can find it either. And so that's a tricky one. The other times I was just writing, I was just following where the actual lines were going, and I do have footage of that, and so I'll show that in the next run. I think in the next one I kind of learned my lesson, and I was like, never mind, I'm just gonna do it regular. Let's see. Okay, see these things? Like, you can stand in the row that has the gap. Whoa, there's a head here. See how you can kind of see there's a gap there, but then where the gap was, new ones will show up, so you gotta wait there, wait for these to explode, and then you like move out of the way, move to here once this one has already moved, and then you can dodge the next set. Okay, I'm gonna put it all together now. I think this is the run. I think this is gonna be the one. I'm gonna skip ahead for whenever they come back, and we'll just... Okay, so then we deliberated a little bit. And... okay, here we go. Oh wait, I ate more food. Okay, so main tank turns the boss forward. Watch out for the tank cleaves in the front. Ancient double is just going to indicate that we got 2 of these thingies happening for some of the mechanics. Shadow spread, clock spots, and take the first hit and then go into a safe spot. Purple stuff, stand on the side that doesn't have a spiky thing, and then we'll move over to the other side. Move over. Okay. Tank buster. Stay away from the tank. It's a tank swap. Because there's a magic bomb. Arcane utterance. Okay, it's the mirror one, so you go to the behind two of the mirrors, behind the middle, behind the one that, whatever the middle mirror is, behind this one. And so all the way over here. Broken Faith. Okay, so I find the first one that just gonna drop, and I head towards there, wait for it to explode, and then I kind of wait over there. Well, I wait for that one to explode, then I hang out, wait for the middle to explode, and then I go to the middle. And then when the one on this side that I was already on explodes, then I go back to that area. Oh, I got hit with one of them. Hang out, wait for the middle one to explode, and I go back to the middle. You could just stand in the middle and get hit with two of them, because the middle one only hits twice, and so I think that's what some people did. They just didn't want to do the mechanic at all, and they just stood in the middle, and that's also fine. Sure. Oh, we skipped the red orb phase. That one is the one where you find the gap. So we did good DPS for this part. Okay, and then in this phase we attack the middle one, and then DPS will get tethers, tanks will take the towers. Okay, here. See, I got tethered to this one, further away from where I was standing, and so I'm going all the way up here, so that I don't, if I stand in the back, it's gonna, my thing's gonna clip a bunch of people. So that's why I rotated myself to the front. And I rotate my tether to point north, so nobody's behind me over here. And just make sure that it doesn't hit the tanks for sure. Okay, one of the tanks died, and so I got the, how did the tank die? Oh, okay, so one of the tanks got hit with the tether things. HM here. Was it me? Let's see. We have one here, we have one here, we have one here. Oh, okay. So mine is pointing this way, so it will hit like this, but this one is pointing here. So I think it hits like this. Something like that. So they might have gotten hit with either one of ours. The thing is, you want to make sure whichever tethered one you are, like you'll stay on that side of it and point that outside of the stage. If you're pointing your tether inwards, it's gonna hit multiple people. And so this one should have been pointing outwards that way. Yeah, so tricky business. Then the tank's about to die right here in this tower because they had the Vuln thing. Okay, but then the healers noticed, so the healers grabbed the tower, so it didn't wipe the party. But again, with the tank dead, I took the AoE. I got assigned the AoE. Usually the tanks will get the AoE, and then other people will go stack with the healers. It's 2 stacks, okay? 1 stack here, 1 stack here. Okay, Fire Sphere and Blizzard Sphere, we're gonna get our debuffs, and you want to attack the opposite one, so I got the fire one, so I can't attack La Habrea, I gotta attack the other one. tethers are coming out. Okay, so DL has ice. They're picking up the fire tether. Okay. Let's see. Let's wait until they sort it out. I saw one person running around with that ice tether, and I was like, dude, don't give it to me. I don't want that. I'm doing my DPS job. RK had the ice tether, and they also had the ice brand. So I think they were trying to pass it to this person, but this person already had one. And so, but then they switched it, and so now this person has the ice one, but that's gonna kill them probably. And so, yeah, that got swapped around. So they needed to switch it. So they switched it. Okay, so DL switched back, so they got the fire one, and then this person ended up getting the ice one again. ML has fire, and I got the ice thingy, and I mean that's fine. Once it goes off, it's okay. They just take damage. Like, the reason why people usually have tanks and healers deal with it is so then the DPS don't have to run around as much, and just if the DPS get hits with it, it's okay as long as they have the opposite color. And so this person is fine. We would just need to heal them up. Over here, though, we had a situation. They were too close to each other, and so they took each other's opposite damage, and so they ended up dying. Blizzard Sphere and the other thing. So our debuff switched. So I have ice now, so I need to go attack La Brea because it's the opposite. Okay, did tank swap. Okay, so that was a good tank swap there, where the tanks didn't move, just the bosses moved. Okay, once we destroy one of the adds, our debuffs will go away, and then everybody can attack the same one. Okay. Here we're attacking this. We have universal manipulation here. See, I'm hovering so I can just pick up one of them. Okay. So I was facing this way, and therefore when I got hit with one, I got knocked back this way. And then I'm going to turn around so I don't see the gaze. And then I'm going to have my fork lightning explode. Interesting. This person was back here, and then they went here, and then they went back. They might have done that on their own, so let's see. AA is right next to me. And so tanks and healers needs to heal everybody up for this doom stuff, right? And they're facing this way, so they're gonna get knocked back that way, which they did. Okay, so they survived that. But then they zoomed back. Did they get petrified, or did somebody else get petrified? Okay, they got petrified, and somehow they got pushed away again. Oh, they still have this debuff. They still have the off balance thing. So that's interesting. They're facing this way though, so it might have just snapshot that. Because usually you would get knocked back the way you're facing. So see, they ran forward, and then, yeah, maybe it is a snapshot then. They get hit with the other one, the gaze mechanic, and so because they got hit, the way this works is when you get damage, you get knocked back. I think they use their little red mage jump thingy. Wait, they're not red mage, they're monk. Okay, so maybe they use whatever dash thingy. Do monks have a dash thingy? Somehow they made it up there real quick, and then, yeah, they got pushed back again. But was their back towards them? It must have been because they got gazed. And so it probably turned their body when Oh. Unless they got hit multiple times. Let's see. They were standing in 1? Okay. See, it looks like they're falling. So did they get hit multiple times? And then they get petrified. But it looks like they're turning. But the petrification already hit them. But they were turning. And so it probably snapshot when they got petrified. And then they got pushed again. And then now they're looking this way. And then our things blew up. Fortunately, they weren't close enough to me that both of us got hit with the thing, but the forked lightning. Wait. How did they slip around so much? You see that? How did they... Okay. Like maybe they didn't turn around fast enough, and so then it snapshot there. Like if they were facing that way and they got the gaze and they got hit with damage, I would assume they'd get knocked backwards. But dude, that's so weird. No, their health is fine. It's on par with the rest of us. Oh, the tank up here had a situation. They died. Okay. Well, I don't know what's going on here. I think this person likely like jumped forward by themselves, it seems like. But it happened so fast. Like compared to my knockback. Let's see. My knockback does happen fast, but see it like stuttered a little bit. And then they got petrified. And then they got pushed back again. Alright, I'll have to revisit this at some point in the future to figure out what might have happened. But let's see, why did the tank die? Oh, the tank didn't have full health, and so they got hit with Doom. So they died to Doom. Okay. And then this person, the other machinist, also died. What happened to them? Just delete all this. RK. Where are they at? RK's right here. Okay, RK's right here. They're stepping on the thing. Okay. So they get knocked backwards. Oh, they start running back. And so they probably also got petrified. Okay, I think they got petrified, and then it looks like they got knocked backwards off the stage. Yep. So that's what I would have expected for this monk here. Because RK didn't turn around, they got knocked back and then came back up here. And they are essentially looking at this rock solid mechanic. Oh yeah, here we go. See, they got hit with the petrification too. And with that, they also get a knockback because of the off-center thing, off-balance thing. And then they're getting tossed that way. And then they fall off the stage. No, it crashed again. Okay, let's finish this up. 3 crashes in 1 video. Is that the record? It's the 19th. Almost done. Oh, God, Control Alt Delete it again. Okay. This. I don't know. I don't know if it's my computer, like my computer overall, or if it is just the program. You know? Let's see. Okay, we'll move on from this. We'll move on. I'm nitpicking. This is my favorite part. Nitpicking and figuring out what happened. But it's fine. Let's move on. Okay, Blight is a raid wide. And then we get our little debuff here. And this is a, I believe it's a dot. It's a bleed, yeah. Bleed itself will persist for 30 seconds, and the initial blast itself will also hurt. Okay. Yep. Height of Chaos. This is a tank buster. See how that was a circle thingy for the tank buster? Like, so the tank is... It could be better if the tank kind of moved back a little bit. But it clipped the healer there. They walked that way, and then the healer got hit with that. Okay, this is the stack. Healer stacks. Yeah, ideally you want your tanks like facing north, and then they get hit with their tank busters away from everybody. But again, this was like our second pool, and so people were still probably figuring it out. Or if they had done it like in the past, they were taking time to like remember things like that. Okay, Shadow Flare. This is gonna be a big raid wide? Yeah. Okay, cool. And then there was like another phase. Oh, my bone cracked. Ancient Eruption was part of that. I think we skipped that in the first run too. The one with 2 players dropping AoEs or something. And it like you have to bait it. Okay, so for here, tanks will take the towers, and then I think one of the healers get the AoE thingy, and then we get somebody trapped in the middle, which I think is the healer that gets the AoE thing. Again, the Majestic, so tanks soak those towers on the sides, and then here's one healer, they got the AoE so they go off to the side. Ideally they position it so that the tank still has space to stand in the tower, you know what I'm saying? The AoE over there. And then, there we go, the healer got sucked into this thingy, and they're gonna be trapped. And so we need to attack the thingy so that they can be saved. While the tanks are still running around taking care of the towers. Again, the martyr, like, I see how I'm like, I backed it up because I was gonna bait the big AoE thingy. Oh, but that's later, never mind. Okay, so this one, you want to stand in the center because there's gonna be a knockback. So position yourself so that you get knocked back into your spot. So I am southeast. This person ideally will go southwest, and then we have one person here going northwest. And then we've got one person here going northeast. And then we save the west spot for one healer and one tank to ride the knockback together. And then one healer, one tank will ride the knockback together to the east side and take the stack together. My robot just zoomed up there and I was like, who are you? Okay, so that's what happens here. We ride the knockbacks into our spots. Okay, so, oh, looks like both? Oh, wait, that's the machinist. This is the other machinist. Okay, so they're pretty close to the people over there, and so, oh no, it was clipped, never mind. They ended up here, that's good, okay. So the people here were the other tank and healer, and they got themselves situated. But the other tank was up there, and ideally they would have gone over here to this other healer. But it's okay. They managed. This would be more detrimental in minimum eye level. You know what I'm saying? Okay, here though, is when I'm baiting. Ideally, you want a ranged person baiting the AoE in the back. And then everybody else will go up to help the stacks. So, baiting off to the thingies, going up north, making my way. Looks like one person died. I think they probably stood in the AoE, the cone. Or, yeah, I think they got hit with this thing. Or they stood in the stack by themselves. Let's see if I can catch it. Okay, I think it's likely, because their name is a little bit higher, they probably stood in the AoE thingy. And the thing with this stack marker is you get the magic vulnerability up, right? And so if you get hit with any of this stuff, it's magic damage, and so that's probably why they got like one shot, because they were standing in another thing. Okay, but now that we've made our way up here, Dark Seal, we got an orb that drops. So, you know, before there was one right here, and so it's probably on that side. But there's probably one here, but it's like further back. But this next move, yeah. See how there's like a small orb right here? But then this one on this side is a little bit further up. It's a little bit higher. Wait, I'm drawing at a slant. But yeah, so that means this side is probably gonna get covered with this orb. And that means the safe side would be this side to dodge stuff. Okay, this is the arms thing, so the sides will get cleaved. And then we're gonna have to move to the side. Oh, and this is a good show. Here, see? There's this. And so this side will be safer. Okay, the middle goes off, so we go to this side. See, we have more space on this side than this side. Yeah, these wing arm things, it really clips the camera view. Click, click, click. Yeah. Dude, this is so cool. Raha! Look at my art collection. Okay, final stage. Final phase. Final phase, yeah. The Dark Current, we got the little arrow thingies on the side, so you want to find the gap. See, I'm just doing it regular now, whereas I think this person was still trying to find it. So you find the gap. I'm gonna hide dresser. It is really hard for me to see because of like the wings and all this stuff, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna move up here a little so it's easier to see. So these go off. I'm trying my best just to still see the camera view. This one's coming towards me, and so now I move to the next side. I still got hit with one, it's fine. Tamaki? What was that? Is that a raid wipe? Yeah, that's a raid wipe. Okay. Quadra Strike is basically a raid wipe. It's gonna swipe us a few times. Here we've got towers, so tanks need to go pick up those towers. Okay, the fist like slams down, so the tanks can take that. I think we were missing a tank. Oh, you know, I got the damage down because I got hit with those arrow things. Never mind. Okay, see, here, ideally, I would have just moved here like that. but I didn't. I was too slow. So I got clipped with one of them. Okay, Gigantomech, it was the raid wide, and then we got the swipey raid wide, and then we got the towers. Quadra strike. It was swipe a few times, and then we need tanks in the towers. Okay, for the fist. Okay. Okay, Quadra strike again. Oh yeah, it hit twice. Okay. Oh, this one we get a bleed. So there's a lot of healer stuff here. There's nothing we can really do. Well, you can help mitigate. Dark current. Alright, so the little arrow things on the sides again. Okay, find the gap. And then move over. Okay. And then move over again. Oh, I got clipped again. It's fast. Got the raid right. Quadra strike. Okay, more wing striking stuff. Towers. Tanks go to the towers. Mechanically is not too difficult to understand, but it just happens pretty fast, you know? Okay, this one has a bleed to it. Sweet! There we go. We did it. Yeah, the final phase is more about, like, you know, the dramatic, like, is it gonna happen or not? So, we already dealt with the majority of mechanics. I think the most difficult thing there was the dark current things, like dodging those. For some reason during Prague, it was also difficult for tanks to like see the towers or something. Like in my previous runs, it took a while for the tanks to go stand in the towers. I don't know. It was a situation with that. It might have just been those other parties, but other than that, yeah, the final phase, it really was just dealing with those arrow AoEs going around. And then, well, all the healing that you have to do too. It's a big healer part in the last phase. I think I end up chit-chatting with people and like taking pictures and stuff for a while, so let's skip ahead. And yeah, that was the whole thing. My computer crashed a few times. I'm gonna try to see if I can resolve that so it doesn't crash so much, but like I said, these fights in the Shadowbringers are gonna have like way more stuff in them, and so that's why I'm kind of pointing out a bunch of things and drawing all the time. And you know, I like to investigate things, and so things also take longer. So, okay, bye. Happy New Year.